All right, looks like we're cooking with hot oil. Good afternoon, Facebook family and YouTube family. D Brown coming to you all. I was actually trying to do this live, but low tech, high check still. So I just wanted to make sure that I got this information in the public domain. Now, this is not a formal presentation or anything like that at all, but this is something that every single person within the sound of my voice needs to listen to, needs to hear, and needs to adhere to. So, with that being said, I'm going to be probably a little long, but it's going to be strong. So, if you're watching this, chances are you can, stop it, come back later, watch some more. But I'm going to take my time, and the reason being is, you know, like I said, this is something I had to get in the public domain. I felt I'd be remiss if I didn't share this with you all because of a time frame. But even moving forward, where there is no time frame that applies, it's just something that I really had to get out. And with that being said, a lot of times we'll go to a training for employment. They could be $150,000, $200,000 a year job. And we'll sit in training for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks. And, before the task is performed. And I don't think a lot of people really understand, and I think a lot don't believe that you can literally position yourself to make that a month. But everybody wants an elevator pitch. Everybody wants it in a nutshell. Everybody wants, well, just surmise it for me. Well, I'm going to let you know right now that you basically just want to tune out now. Okay, I'm going to be straight up with you because I'm not about to do a formal 7-step presentation. I'm basically going to have a conversation with you, but I'm going to give you documentation. So you cannot say in any form or fashion that you didn't know. Why wasn't I told? Why wasn't I exposed to this? All right. And I told you guys, I'm not an internet marketer. I don't care nothing about no time frames when peak hours and all that stuff. It hit my spirit to share this. And I've never done a presentation on what I'm about to share with you. Never. And that's why I said this isn't going to be a presentation, it's going to be a conversation. All right. And as I said, it applies to every single person that listens to this. Now, I want to say this and I want to set some guidelines to my investors. This is something that you definitely want to pay. And I'm talking about my just flat out investors. You don't deal with any marketing. You don't even like MLM marketing and all that stuff, but you're an investor. You want to pay closer attention to my uh, uh, to my people, to my regular folks who are not investors, don't deal with MLM. You definitely want to pay attention, right? And to my MLMers, you need to pay attention because what I'm about to go over, pardon me, has nothing to do with you. This isn't a recruitment message. This is an alertment or an awareness message. Do stick with what you're doing. Stay with what you're doing. But I'm going to tell you something. You want to lend me your ear for a moment because you do want to acquire the object or the technology that I'm about to share with you. You don't have to do a business. You don't have to leave what you're doing. Keep doing your whatever it is you're doing. Product company, technology company, whatever it is you're doing, continue to do it. Continue to build, continue to share with the world. But you do want to lend me your ear. And I'm telling you that with every fiber of my being. So, first thing I want to do, well, let me show this first and foremost. I know my little big head is in the way. If I did this right, it's my first time of fooling with this setup on this thing as well. So, My little fat face is going to be here in the corner the whole time if I'm doing it right, right? First thing I want to do is I want to share this disclaimer with you. You can take a screenshot of it if you want, do what you need to do, but the information that I'm about to share does not constitute financial advice or investment recommendation or an endorsement for an investment strategy. I am not a financial advisor. Don't give financial advice. I simply use common sense to, to build wealth and to grow my wealth. And but past performance is never indicative of future results and all that stuff. So I just wanted to get a general disclaimer out there. Now, as I said, I made a statement. I said I need to get something in the public domain. Well, the what I need to get is you're going to have to pay close attention because I'm not going to talk my head off. I'm going to show you just a few short clips that's going to surmise every point I need to make, period. Now, I do want to make this clear. What I'm speaking of is a software solutions company in the fintech space that has created a product that works and helps and assists in real world applications, not just in some little ecosystem, but in real world applications. Okay. And it is not an MLM company. You're about to see that. Now, the way to acquire the technology, and this company, listen to me clearly, this company has several subsets to the technology. Okay. This company is, you're about to see, potentially about to be listed and the whole nine. You're going to get everything you need to get if you pay close attention right now to the short clip I'm about to show. But however, what I do want to make clear is there is a marketing arm called Bellator, and it is the avenue to which you can acquire the technology I'm talking about. You don't have to build the thing. Listen to me, there's no auto ship, there's no monthly fees, there's none of that crap. As a matter of fact, even to get in position to acquire the technology, there's no cost. Of course, you'd have to pay a fee for the technology, but then there's no ongoing maintenance, there's none of that. You simply get paid for life. You get paid for life for acquiring this technology one time. So I need you to put on your business hats, especially my MLMers. I need you to get your egos out of the way for a moment. Because the reason why you're doing what you're doing is for financial stability, right? And it's your responsibility to make sure that you're showing those who you're working with how to become, and here's the key, stay financially stable. Now, in my house and in my business household, the era of these quick flips, a lot of us made a lot of money with these things, but they're hurting the game. They're hurting the game. They're hurting the industry. They're hurting people with these rug pulls, so on and so forth. So what you're about to witness is something that's already been not in the making, but been rolling for 8 years straight. Over $70 million spent to put something in place that only the banking systems have. But they're ahead of the banking systems because they're allowing, they it's called a core switch, and you'll see it in the video. They're the only entity in the world that has this. I need y'all to hear me. Like I told you, I'm not doing no, I'm having a conversation. And I'm gonna let somebody else converse with y'all to break it down for you. But you need to get that basics. So that core switch allows for real world application of something that if you don't know, you better hurry up and get to know about it, which is cryptocurrency. Okay, to allow every business in the world to be able to accept crypto. So many people are acquiring crypto, right? I know people have a ton of crypto, don't know what to do with it. We've solved that real world problem, right? But then there are businesses, that's one thing. There are businesses that would love to be able to receive cryptocurrency because this is now a cryptocurrency nation. It's turning very fast as we speak. There was just something passed. If I have time, I'll show you literally where something was just put in place in this country where the banks will be fined now if they, for lack of a better term, hate on people who do cryptocurrency. And I have the article. Maybe I'll put the link in the chat or something like that, just to save time. This is where we are right now. So you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the thing is a lot of people have what's called crypto cards. We got them too, where you load your crypto to your card, but nobody has the ability for you to literally you take your crypto card or your credit card and choose to pay in cryptocurrency and choose to pay for your dry cleaning, for your gas, for your groceries, for your rent or your mortgage, or for any and every, for your Starbucks coffee, for your Publix shopping, for your Macy's shopping spree. Are you kidding me? For everything that you do on a daily basis. So I'm already talking too much. Let me show you this first clip. Pay close attention. As I said, if you're not in a position to be able to pay close attention, don't even watch this right now. Wait till later. Okay? Here we go. This is who we are and what the service is. Okay? Listen very closely. Here we go.
We wanted to share some key insights to help you better understand the true value of the opportunity you are part of, the foundation of Miracle Cash and more. Miracle Cash and more began its journey in 2017 with a clear vision to become a global fintech powerhouse, not just a traditional bank. Our starting point was the development of a core banking system, also known as a switch in the financial industry. This system consists of millions of lines of code. It took 3 years and over $5 million to develop. We built a mid-level core banking system from the ground up. Why is this significant? Because we own the technology. We are not leasing or dependent on third parties, which saves costs and provides flexibility. When you invest your time in a company, that company should deserve your time and effort by providing real sustainable value. What has the company invested to create an opportunity for you? Who is the actual customer? If it's just you, then it's not a real business. It's a cycle destined to fail. Most crypto MLMs have failed because they start with a compensation plan and then pick a product that fits. Their focus isn't on solving real-world problems, but on making quick money. That's not sustainable. Miracle Cash and More is not an MLM. It's a fintech company offering real services to merchants. Bellator is the marketing arm designed to help expand Miracle's reach. This gives us the best of both worlds. A company with real products and services. A network marketing structure to help spread the word and reward those who grow the network.
Now,
this week,
there's a
we're
very
hosting
short
trading and investing workshop right here in Atlanta.
Very short part 2 to that. I want to show that to you guys as well. All right. Remember, this is who we are and the details on what we do. Now, this one, you definitely want to pay close attention to. Short clips, as you can see, this is 1 minute and 19 seconds. All right, here we go.
Build our own switch. No third-party licensing required. Handles crypto transactions directly with customizable merchant admin panels. Offers higher APRs than traditional banks, making us the crypto bank for merchants. Secure and efficient transaction management. Continuous updates to benefit both customers and merchants.
Oh, gotta pause it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, look at your screen. Because of who we are and what we offer, we've secured 4 contracts. We have more than that now, okay? We've secured 4 contracts with 4 of the largest POS device companies in the world. You know what a POS device is? It's a point of sale system, right? It's when you go in the store and you swipe your card, tap it, or insert it to pay. That's a POS system. Well, when you look at that system, it's going to say Ingenico, PAX, Verifone, NCR around the world. Are you kidding me? We already have them locked. I want you to understand that. Take a screenshot if you need to, do whatever research you need. This is why I say pay close attention, because the only thing that's going to make somebody miss this is simply their ego. That's the only thing. All right. So, there's some more details coming. I'm going to pull this back just a bit. Here we go.
These companies represent over 100 million active accounts, and our technology is installed in all of these machines.
Over 100
This
million
is a
accounts.
huge victory and a clear sign that we are leading the way in the industry. This is why it takes time to be the best. Building something of this magnitude isn't easy. It requires patience, dedication, and relentless hard work. But the results speak for themselves.
I said you might have to watch that again. That's
Don't wear these 3 colognes around your
and that's fine
brother's girlfriend.
if you do. It is absolutely fine if you need to watch it again. But now, ladies and gentlemen, after 8 years of being in the making, I have to fast forward this thing now. I want you to understand, and you're going to hear it for yourself. So let me show you this. Let me show you this very quickly. So this is what I want you to understand. And I should still be screen sharing. Okay. So we have Miracle Cash and More and Metaterra. So Metaterra is the holding company. It's the umbrella for all of these platforms. I'm not going to touch it. That's not my purpose today. I'm giving you a huge overview. And like the 30,000 foot view that I'm giving you is going to take a little time, right? So everything is under Metaterra. It's the holding company, right? We have Miracle Cash and More that is over 8 years old right now. So it's been putting everything in place in reference to the switch and all that stuff. Then we have all these other things. Then we even have a token. I'm not even going to get into the token. The token is off the chain. We ain't here to talk about that right now, right? So we have Miracle Cash and More and Metaterra. I want you to remember Metaterra. Now, the CEO of Metaterra, which all of these are under the umbrella, is a gentleman named Hakan Toran. Are you listening to me? Hakan Toran is the CEO of Metaterra, and all these fall under that umbrella. Then we have, so this, nothing you see on the screen right here is MLM. I already explained what it is, and you're about to hear it again. So now, remember I told you, Bellator has its own CEO. His name is Micah Third. Micah Third. He's the CEO of Bellator. Bellator is what? The marketing arm for this entire ecosystem headed by Metaterra. Now, there's a whole lot of other details you got to get in between. You're going to have to, you can contact me or whatever, but we could deal with that later. Again, I'm giving you the 30,000 foot view. What they're doing and having this real world application ecosystem in place with, again, real world application, not just your little token is in your ecosystem. No, everything outside my window out there, everything outside your window is going to end up using this particular technology. I'm going to put it that way. And what I'm getting to is you can position yourself to get paid when people do what they're going to do anyway. So we'll get to that. So there's a Wall Street juggernaut named Douglas Anderson, who has now been made the chairman of Metaterra, chairman of the board. And he's bringing some individuals along with him. So this is already this is all finalized last week. When you do your due diligence and see who this individual is and the individuals who he's bringing to the board, you're going to see why I had to put this out in the public domain. But instead of talking about it anymore, I'm about to show you. But I just wanted you to understand that, okay, when it says here, the ultimate super token, that's the Phoenic token, right? I'm not even going to talk about that today. Here to talk about Mediterra and then Miracle Cash and more, right? You're about to see the CEO and all these fall under that umbrella. So let's get to it right now. Now, another thing I want you to understand is this thing is no joke, guys. There are already, let me show you this. I got to show you this for the naysayers. There's already physical locations in place. You can see right here, this is the address. You can see the date that it opened, right? 23rd of 2024. This one opened last year. Are you kidding me? This is a physical location. I got videos and all that of the launch. You can literally walk in, take cash in this physical store and get cryptocurrency, or you can go exchange cryptocurrency for cash. And there's about 3, 4 of them around the world. Okay. Those are physical locations. I'm not talking about that. The Miracle Cash and more physical stores are part of the ecosystem, but I'm not talking about that. Now, when I talk to you about the core, the banking switcher core, this is a diagram of what they spent millions and took years to do. I will let you see this, right? Because you can come back to it later. But as you see, it's a brain. The only entity on the planet that has this switch or this core are the banks. The only entity outside of a bank, a global bank, is Miracle Cash and more. So with that being said, so you can see it's the brain of everything, and it connects everything, fintech services, everything you see. Take a second to read all of this. And the simple side of it is it safely, quickly, and securely allows businesses to accept cryptocurrency. And we don't sell POS systems. The machine, this is software technology where the business can say yes and instantly be set up. Now you could go there, tap, swipe, or insert your card and buy anything you want with your cryptocurrency. I need you to pay close attention. So once this word got out to the real world business side, what you're about to witness now happened. Okay. And I told you, I started to title this, I started to title it Facts, Just the Facts. But then I think I titled it, You Don't Know What You Don't Know. You just don't know what's happening. So instead of talking about it, I'm going to show you. Here we go. Miracle Cash and more, probably the biggest update in Miracle's history and is worth millions. Turn your speakers up.
Well, hi, it's Hakan here from Miracle. You're used to Micah doing the calls and me being in the guest seat, but today I have a partner, a very great guy that I would like to introduce to everyone. Welcome, Mr. Douglas Anderson. Welcome to North Cyprus.
Thank you so much. Great to be here in the perfect weather.
The weather's always good in Cyprus. So Douglas is he's the CEO of Wall Street Capital, and Wall Street Capital is the company that we've signed for the process of Metaterra. So we've started the process of Metaterra. So that's something that I would like to give you that great news. But apart from that, up on that contractual relationship, it was great to have you as a guest and really see what we're doing at Miracle. And I would like to say, well, so far, what have you seen?
I'm very pleased that you came along when you did, because Wall Street, and at least my firm, we've kept our eye out for opportunities like this for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is a very simple reason why, because this space is exploding. You're looking at about 3 billion market just as recently as 2020. It's approaching 60, 70 billion now.
Yeah.
So it's an exploding market. You're talking about, I think the figures are staggering. 90% of executives are either currently using blockchain or they're planning to. And so crypto and blockchain are a growth sector. They're a profitable sector. They are the future, and we have to be involved in that. And as underwriters, as people that focus on listing companies on the stock exchange, we have to do this because the investors are demanding it. They want it. The public wants it.
Right.
And to run into you guys and see your amazing platforms, the tough parts that you've gone through, but also how you've gotten through it, how you've refined your products, how you've learned, and now you're ready to really launch some amazing products. And we're very excited to be a part of it.
Fantastic. But before going into the products, I want to go into a bit of some names that you're bringing onto the board for Metaterra and the projects we're doing. So I'd like the people out there to hear who's coming on.
Sure. I mean, Hakan, it's the old saying, it's not the horse, it's the jockey. No matter how good your product is, you have to have strong, experienced people that have been there and done that. And so for this sector, the guys that I've brought on are guys that are extremely knowledgeable at launching into new sectors and growth and global expansion. The first person that I brought is John Byer. John's got a stellar background and career as a technologist and as a prolific global achiever.
Right.
It started with the cell phone business. He was part of Cellular One, and he was the key guy that worked with Michael Milken of Wall Street to.
Y'all ain't hear me. Y'all ain't hear me. John Baer is basically the reason why we even have these in our hands. Do your research. John Baer is literally basically the reason why we have these in our hands.
To bring Cellular One to AT&T, and that became cell phones everywhere. I mean, before that, you'd see maybe one or two guys with a bag and a phone, or it loaded, they're attached to their car, but you never saw individuals, and that was the birth of that. So imagine that he was a part of that. That wasn't enough for John. He was a founder and CEO of another little company called Widevine. Widevine was acquired by another little company called Google, and to this day, Google or Widevine is the backbone infrastructure still is of Google. And then after that, he was head of international for a company called Real Networks. Real Networks was the birth of streaming. So you don't have Netflix and Hulu and Spotify and all that without streaming. He was a part of that. And so he's been studying this sector significantly and looking for these opportunities. And he was happy to take my call and take my recommendation to get seriously involved with your company and its initiatives.
Fantastic. And there was two more names?
Yeah. We're talking about blockchain. We're talking about finance. We're talking about banking and economics. And one of the strongest guys in the United States, certainly one of the most recognized economists in the United States, is Stephen Moore. Stephen was the economic advisor for President Trump in his first election. He's a very close advisor now as well. He was, as I showed you, he was in the White House less than a month ago with President Trump talking about the Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers that were a mess and what we should do about that. So having a guy who understands economies and scale and global economics, I think is invaluable to have a guy like that involved. And so he's agreed to do that, and he's coming in to help us very soon. He's flying in to see you. So it's great to have someone of such high significance. In fact, Trump even appointed him chairman of the Federal Reserve. but he declined to do it for family reasons. But it shows the level of expertise and acumen he carries. Finally, I'm bringing on a dear friend and someone of high credibility and talent, Fernando Vildasola. Fernando's family founded a little company called Kenworth.
And another little.
And Kenworth became PACCAR, and PACCAR is a $60 billion publicly traded New York Stock Exchange company, probably one of the biggest in the world, and they produce about 165 heavy trucks a day out of Mexicali, Mexico, along with a lot of other things.
The reason we created these initial robots was to solve a pretty basic problem. Weeds have become resistant to herbicides, and so then you have to use more of those chemicals. There's no resistance to a blade.
And they also have some brands in Europe, so they're global. Fernando also happens to serve his country or his second country. He's both a U.S. citizen and a Mexican citizen, and he is a serving acting Mexican senator for the state of Guadalajara. And Guadalajara is the strongest industrial state in the state of Mexico. So
Going
he's
down.
very savvy on business, on growth, on scaling, on global affairs. And so having that team together, I think, is critical. And then
It brings the whole ecosystem economically to where it needs to be.
yeah, I think it's
So with that great team, we sat down with Douglas and we looked at for the next 2 to 3 months, and we put a roadmap together. And first of all, the great news is that we're doing a revision on the Mirix pre-sale. So the Mirix pre-sale was planned to be $5 million. We have made a revision and we've turned the pre-sale into $15 million. And the great news is that where we plan to start the coin's first price at $0.50, we're actually starting it when we'll open with $1 and we'll go up from there. Now, that said, with the current pre-sale prices, we will only keep them there for another 7 days, and we will revise the pre-sale prices and adjust it towards this new 15 million pre-sale. We have a roadmap where around October we go live with testnet and Miracle Chain, and it's great that we're going to host John, Fernando, and Steve here in North Cyprus. Then I'm going to New York to find you there, and what are we doing there?
we're going to do an interview on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange on the 10th of November.
Yes.
October, we're going to be here.
Yes.
November, we're going to be in New York City at the
All right, you get the gist.
Bloomberg.
Even the president of Mexico at the very end, he's talking about is going to be at their meeting that they're going to have in Cyprus. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the point. I even have, but I'm not going to show it for sake of time, the video of the gentleman who he was talking about was the economic advisor to President Trump. He was just with him last week, and it's absolutely phenomenal because he said, we have it on video, where he said to Trump, and listen, I'm not talking politics, I'm not talking any of that, I'm talking about your money, okay? He said to Trump, I've come across something that's pretty phenomenal that I'm going to be talking to you about. And it's in the video, and then he goes in to the numbers over the entire economy with Trump standing right there. It was all over the news. This guy's his financial economic advisor. And now he's on the board. Bellator. Are you kidding me? So, next thing I want to do is show you a clip because after Douglas Anderson left Cyprus, went straight to Wall Street. Now, this is what he did. Again, remember, just a few short clips, guys, because I want to show you proof in the pudding. You know, somebody could talk about something all day, but what's happening with Bellator, and Miracle Cash and more, it's never happened. And this ain't happened with Amway. This ain't happened with Melaleuca, right? Those are some phenomenal foundation platforms. But remember, this is a technology company that is not, as you saw in the video, MLM. They're technically separated, but in order to acquire them, you have to come through, the Bellator. But this part is a business, right? Mediterra, Miracle Cash, and more. But anyway, let me show you what happened. I think this is like 48, no more than 72 hours old, after Douglas Anderson got back to the States.
Hi, this is Douglas Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital Partners. I'm here today at the New York Stock Exchange to tell you about a new company that I've taken a seat on the board of directors of, and that we intend on moving towards potentially a public offering. Metaterra. Metaterra is a holding company that will develop several software assets, and these software assets are primarily focused around blockchain. Now, as you know, my background is in public companies that are regulated on the stock exchange. So why would I be interested in crypto and blockchain type companies? Well, the reason why is very simple. This is a huge and growing industry. The world's biggest institutions are already moving into crypto. BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, they're all building in this space because blockchain isn't just an experiment anymore. It's the future of finance. Last year alone, global crypto transaction volume exceeded $4 trillion, and the tokenized asset market is projected to reach 16 trillion by 2030. Those are not speculative numbers. Those are structural shifts. So for me, joining Miracle and Metaterra isn't about leaving one world for another. It's about helping to shape the bridge between them, taking the discipline and credibility of the traditional markets and applying it to the innovation and scale of blockchain. That's where the future is being written. So my role with Metaterra is centered on governance, structure, and growth. I've been tasked with establishing Metaterra, the holding company that will anchor the entire Miracle ecosystem and ensure that it has solid corporate foundation needed for long-term success. The background is building and advising businesses at this scale, and I'm bringing that experience to a Miracle and Metaterra by assembling a team of highly capable and credible board members who will guide this company into its next phase. The gentleman that I'm bringing on board, I've worked with before. The first one is John Beyer. John was really a foundational figure.
Okay, you've heard those.
AT&T that was.
I'm going to fast forward this.
Netflix and all these other streaming
Let's talk about the powerhouses
in the United States, if not around the world. He's former editor. Started Kenworth, which became PACCAR.
So,
Eating in physical retail outlets in Europe, where anyone can walk in, get support, and have access to crypto safely. We're headquartered in Holland, and our vision is simple: make crypto accessible, secure, and useful for everyday people and real businesses. Instead of hype, we focus on education, user-friendly tools, and real-world financial solutions. Our mission is to remove the barriers to entry so that blockchain becomes part of the daily life of fast and transparent and reliable transactions. Miracle Pay is our seamless fiat to crypto payment gateway, essentially the bridge between traditional finance and the digital economy. It allows companies to accept both regular currencies and cryptocurrencies with the same ease, whether online or in a store. What makes it powerful is the combination of instant conversions, advanced compliance, and versatile POS systems. That means business can be broadened and their customer base reduce transaction costs and avoid the risks of volatility while staying fully regulated. For companies, this translates into stronger cash flow, lower costs, and access to global customers without barriers. In short, Miracle Pay takes away the complexity of digital payments and replaces it with stability, trust, and scale. Miracle Chain is the backbone, the layer 2 blockchain built specifically for affiliate and direct selling businesses. Think of it as a private, optimistic roll-up replaces legacy commission and CRM systems with faster, cheaper, and fully transparent systems. Instead of messy spreadsheets and disputes over payouts, Miracle Chain automates everything. So you've got your commissions, royalties, payroll, subscriptions, all. What makes it different is simple. This isn't blockchain for speculation. It's blockchain for real world business compliance, scale, and community aligned growth. So sure, the Miracle Suite is our all-in-one growth infrastructure, a set of interconnected tools that's designed to help businesses and users grow, transact, and thrive on Miracle Chain. It includes a wallet for payments, rewards, and AI-driven gamified growth, a launch pad to build tokenized economies, and a DEX for liquidity, and the chain itself as a compliant backbone. On top of that, Mintera enables tokenized products and Miracle Pay bridges global commerce through fiat and crypto payments.
All right. Now, got one more of Mr. Douglas to show you very quickly. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to show you what you're really here for. Okay. I believe this may have been that same day. Is this it even? Let me see here. Oh, I pulled the same bit twice, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, I did. I had another one I wanted to show you. I'll see if I can grab that, but let's just get to it. Matter of fact, let me see if I can grab it here very quickly. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to stop the share. See if I can pull something up here very quickly. I told you I was going to be long, but I was going to be strong. Okay, I know exactly where it is. I'm going to have to open up my WhatsApp very quickly. Because this is good. This is something you guys need to see. And right here is where you can fast forward until you see something pop up on the screen if you need to. It's not going to take me long to find this. And of course, Murphy's Law is kicking in. Now, it's probably because I'm on Zoom and everything, but this thing is moving slow as all outdoor. Let's see, is this it? Is this it? I think this is it right here, guys.
World's biggest institutions are already.
No. Bear with me. Don't dip yet. Don't dip yet. Just want you to peek at this. Here we go. Okay, matter of fact, I'm going to pause that. Come back here. I've got to screen share again. All right. Bear with me. I'm looking for my screen share. Here we go. Good thing the recording keeps going, I'll tell you that much. Bam, there we go. So check this out. I'm not going to play all of this one. Then I'm getting right to the meat after this, okay? Hey, you can find these videos right on New to the Street.
And a warm welcome today to the Wall Street Capital segment of New to the Street. I'm Janet Alvarez, your host here from the iconic New York Stock Exchange. We're joined today by very special guest, Doug Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital Management. Doug, how are you today?
Great to be here. Thank you.
Doug, there's so much history here at the New York Stock Exchange, and I feel like people like yourself are rooted in the traditional exchanges, in the traditional world of finance. How did you decide to make the leap to crypto?
So it wasn't hard. I mean, we are looking at the numbers, and as recent as like 7 years ago, I think we're looking at 3 billion transactions in that space. Today, we're looking upwards of 70 billion. Wow. So the growth is phenomenal. And it's something that can't be ignored. And people on this floor here are not ignoring it. They're looking at it very closely.
Guys, this is the revolution.
We're following it, and we're looking for special companies that are cutting edge.
I just want you to let me hear what he says about Bellator.
Something that we think is going to be catch fire, let's say, and grow exponentially. And when something grows exponentially, of course, investors can profit from that multiple.
Absolutely. So for our audience that isn't yet familiar with Miracle, tell us about Miracle. What is it? Where is it founded?
So the holding company for Miracle is Metaterra, and Miracle is a one of their software assets. Metaterra is a company that we're working with, and we're interested in listing that on the stock exchange. It'll be a holding company for various software assets that they've developed. The first one being Miracle Pay. So you've noticed when you go to a store or a restaurant or what have you, these PAX or Ingenico machines, they're handheld by the server or at the point of purchase, and you wave your card over it or your Apple Pay, and the system reads it and the transaction happens instantly. What's different in this case is it enables a crypto wallet to do the same thing, and it's been approved by those companies, Ingenico and Pax, and those two companies represent the largest number of machines out there. So that's maybe 40 million machines across Europe, for example. And so that is a big deal to us. And when we saw that, we realized, hey, we better jump on this thing right away and do what we can to catch the train and not be standing at the station.
So prior to the interview, we were talking candidly between you and I. You were telling me about the fight that you're helping to host between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Tell me about that.
A dear friend of mine reached out to me. He owns the.
Okay, you were talking about how he's vested into the, and I didn't hear about this till I heard him say it, Mike Tyson Mayweather fight. But in any event, now, ladies and gentlemen, so Derek, what's the big deal? What's going on here? Well, first of all, you see the powerhouses that have gotten behind this vision, right? Well, the reason why I had to put this in the public domain right now is because there's an opportunity for you to acquire what's called a node, right? Through this system that you purchase one time, but it's going to pay you for life. The first question that always comes is, well, how much can I make? That's why I said it doesn't matter what you're doing. Your skincare, your coffee company, your weight loss, your insurance, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. Just use common sense and grab a few no's. Whether you're a regular person, investor, MLMer, every person within the sound of my voice, you want to grab a few no's. Now, the reason why I'm doing this now, because I've been doing this for months behind the scene, for several months, but I'm about to come out big time. I'll tell you that much. For one thing, we've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of phenomenal things going on. But there is a promotion that's happening right now where for the price of one node, you purchase one and they're going to give you three more free. Now, I'm going to let you know right now that ends on the 30th of September. But it doesn't matter if you're seeing this 2 months from now. Well, it's going to be a whole different picture in reference to what this company is, but understand that you can still acquire a node. So I'm about to show you the pricing on them. But more importantly, the question I always get is, Derek, how much can I make from one of these nodes? Well, I'm going to let my good friend and business partner, a gentleman who's been on me for 3 years, understand this is why, well, God's timing is everything. I live by that. But I'm so thankful that he didn't let his ego kick in and said, "Oh man, Derek's tripping." I used to, plug in with everything he'd bring to me. I travel the world with this joker. And now I'm trying to show him some. No, that wasn't the case. What it was 3 years ago. Listen to me closely. When I met with my good buddy Amin, he was talking about what they were about to do. And at that stage, I didn't want to deal with nothing that was talking about what they were going to do. Because I'm rolling. You know what I mean? I mean, what's happening now? Long story short, got with him a few months ago, and everything that he said they were going to do have been done plus some. And then Bellator just launched. That's the insane thing. Miracle Cash, Miracle Pay, Mediterra, all that's been in formation and rolling for 8 years. Bellator just launched a few weeks when he had when he had talked to me a few months ago. I said, "Hey, the timing was right. It's all in God's timings, guys. Same thing for you all. Some of y'all is going right over your head. It is what it is. You'll come back. We'll be right here. 90 days, 5 years, 2 years, whatever it is. My prayers that those that have ears to hear, hear. But I had to do what I had to do to put the word out. So I'm going to let my man Damon Meadows, break down to you the specifics on the cost of the nose, how much you can earn, the whole nine. Now, I do want to say this. We're also doing a private. I don't put links out anymore. I don't just throw, webinar links and all that stuff. I don't do it anymore. So there'll be a live tonight. If you want that information, inbox me, right? If you want to get it later, inbox me, right? But so that way you can get details. But what I want you to understand is whether you do that or not, and whenever you're reviewing this information, get with somebody that you know that's in Bellator, Miracle Cash, and more, and get a no. I'm not telling you to do a business. I'm not telling you to make phone calls, recruit, get on meetings. You want to see one full scope. I just gave you a 30,000-foot view. If you hear somebody's doing this, get with them and acquire some nodes. That's the town crier energy that I'm putting out now. Get with somebody that you know that's in this particular program and position yourself to get some nodes where you're getting paid for life. So last thing I'm going to show you is a clip of my main man with the master plan, Damon Meadows, breaking down the specifics on the node, how much they cost, but more importantly, how much you can earn. Turn your speakers up and pay attention. Here we go.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the opportunity right here. Now, we're offering CPU nodes, starting off at $1,200. We don't have any more half nodes. As we used to have them, they ran out, sold out. So now all we got is these three right here. besides some small farm nodes for the people that's in third world countries and stuff like that, which, I mean, if you can get it, you can get one too. It ain't just for them, but when we talk about money, making money, let's stick with the $1,200 nodes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want one CPU node, it's $1,200. You want three, it's 36. You want seven is 8,400. But let me explain this. What is a CPU node, Mr. Meadows? I'm happy you asked. I'm gonna make it real simple for you, ladies and gentlemen. You see this right here on Egenical's website? Remember this right here? This machine, every time an individual does this, ladies and gentlemen, tap, swipe, or insert, just like my shirt say, tap, swipe, or insert, cha-ching, ladies and gentlemen, every time somebody uses cryptocurrency on any of these platforms, what platforms you talking about, Mr. Meadows? If they go to Walmart, Target, Circle K, Mad Max, Leo's Pizzeria, Home Depot, if they go to McDonald's, BP, Chipotle's, Starbucks, any of these companies, and they use cryptocurrency, guess what? Our CPU node, the one that you have an opportunity to buy tonight, has to confirm the transaction. When they confirm the transaction, guess what? You get paid. It's that simple. Right here. Them CPU nodes that we talk about right here, ladies and gentlemen, they confirm transactions. Every time a transaction is made on a POS device, whether it's online, whether it's in person, any of those places that we got contracts with, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Your CPU node has to confirm each and every transaction. Guess what that also means? I ain't show y'all this. Look at NCR. That's how many transactions they do an hour. They do 26 million transactions an hour. So guess what that means? If all those transactions was cryptocurrency, guess what? You would get paid 26 million times. That's what that means. No exaggeration, none of that. Men lie, women lie, our nodes don't lie. There's no transaction without being validated. And the only thing that validates these transactions with cryptocurrency is our CPU nodes. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. Don't, well, how does it do all that? You don't know how Zoom works, but you're on that Zoom right now. You don't know how the cell phone works. You don't know how Apple got the technology to do FaceTime, but you FaceTime when you can. Those of us who got Apples, we ain't talking about the Android users that can't FaceTime. It's like, no, I'm just messing with y'all. Listen, but the Apple users like us, we can FaceTime. Hey, how you doing? Guess what? We don't know how that technology works. We don't know how that works. We don't care as long as it works. And we paid top dollar for this. But imagine something we paid $1,200 for, and it's paying us every single time. This don't pay us unless we work in it. But we got to pay that cell phone bill every month. But that CPU node is an asset. You buy it one time, it's going to pay you every single time somebody does what? Tap, swipe, but insert, cha-ching. Tap, swipe, but insert, cha-ching. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the opportunity we got in front of us today. Where you can buy an asset, an income-producing asset. Look at the verbiage. Income-producing asset is paying you continuously for the rest of your life. The company doesn't own your node. You buy the node, it's sent to you, it's put in your decentralized wallet. The company can't turn it off. You can't turn it off. The company can't sneak and don't pay you a certain amount of money. None of that. Because guess what? It's on a smart contract. No human touch. No human control. No human manipulation. No rug pulls. It's told you we're gonna be the first company on the blockchain, y'all. This is why the smartest minds in the world are jumping on this. I just told you Steve Moore denied the president of the United States. But when Douglas Anderson called him about us, guess what he did? Guess what he said? I'll be honored to sit on the board. They know they can ready to make history. Like, listen to me, y'all. They know this is going in their portfolio. They do things for legacy. This is a legacy play for them. Why aren't you thinking it's a legacy play? You still thinking it's about MLM. It ain't no MLM. This is a legacy play. And when you start realizing it's a legacy play, you're going to stop playing. Why do you think I'm doing Zooms 2-3 times a day? This is a legacy play for me. And my family. You got to get serious about your family. You will never have this opportunity again. We will never have this opportunity again. We missed the .com era. We missed the Uber. We missed the Bitcoin. We missed the Facebook. All that stuff we missed. Guess where we at right now? We in a financial shift. And we in the beginning. We're the solution. Y'all don't hear what I'm telling y'all. Listen to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let me continue. Now, with this CPU nodes, okay, Mr. Meadows, I get a CPU node, but how I get paid? I don't know how I get paid. Can you break that down to me? I'm happy you asked, ladies and gentlemen. So now, every time somebody tap, swipe, or insert, 80% of the fees go to you, 20% of the fees go to the compensation plan. Okay, Mr. Meadows, but I still don't understand it. Can you break it down to me a little bit more? It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. So now, let's do a real live scenario. This is a scenario right here. Let's say we got 100 million machines, that's merchants, right? But we only want to use 3 million. Well, hold up, Mr. Meadows. Where are we going to get 100 million machines at? Okay, I'm happy you asked. Well, this is PAC's website. You can go to it all you want. This is another POS provider company that we got under contract. Well, PAC said they got 80 million themselves. 80 million. Look, it says, founded in 2000, PAC's technology has delivered over 80 million terminals to 120 countries. Okay, if that's not enough for you, let's go back to Egenical. Egenical, let's go to about us. Let's scroll down. Let's see what Egenical got. Egenical said they got tens of millions. They got tens of millions. Ladies and gentlemen, then I'm one to really do something. I go to NCR, who said they do 26 million transactions per hour. Not a day, per hour. It's 24 hours in a day, ladies and gentlemen. Do the math yourself. So check this out. The scenario said, let's just get 3 million of them. Just 3 million machines. Y'all agree we get 3 million? Of course. So at 3 million machines, at a $5 a day purchase, which is a joke, our company, Miracle Pay, will make $5.4 billion. And as node owners, Miracle Pay has to pay us 30%. Look at the words I'm using. As node owners, you and I, Miracle Pay has to pay us 30% to each node owner. Gets 30% breakdown. So that's 1.6 billion out of the 5.4. So each node, no matter how many you have, at this scenario, will get $7,821. That's a 7,000% increase on return on investment. And ladies and gentlemen, that $7,800 is residually, annually. Don't believe me? Ask Mr. Lee. But ladies and gentlemen, that 3 million, I don't even like saying that no more. it's gonna be way more than 3 million. I'm not even gonna talk about that one. But this just a number. I'm telling you, showing you the numbers of how much money is involved in this $1 trillion industry. Ladies,
Now, he didn't say nothing about um, recruiting anybody, sponsoring anybody levels. This is strictly from the nodes, ladies and gentlemen. Strictly from the nodes.
and gentlemen, let's go to a little bit more realistic scenario. Let's say instead of 3 million machines, let's go to 10 million. 10 million machines at the same $5, which is really a joke too. $5. It gives you $27,000 annually, residually. Don't believe me? Ask Mr. Lee.
Simple math, guys. Simple math. Simple math, right? He just went, he just literally did a more realistic example and went from 7,000 per node to a minimum of 27,000. So people always ask, well, how much will I make? There's no exact amount, but you can deal with minimums. And that's a bare minimum. You need to realize it's going to continue to increase every year as the mass adoption of using and spending cryptocurrency increases, and you only pay for it one time. Are you kidding me? 27,000 bare minimum annually.
Why do I keep talking about Mr. Lee? I'm gonna tell you why. Mr. Lee is on this call. He's one of my closest friends, but he's legally blind, like legally blind. But he got more nodes than me. He got more shares than me, because we both shareholders in this company too. He got more coins than me, both Mirrors and Phoenix token. So if a blind man can see how serious this situation is, what's your problem? This is why
I'm gonna leave it right there. That's enough. That's enough. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, whoever shared this video with you, get back to them. But as I said, to me, it's almost a state of emergency. It's a state of emergency with people who are, working jobs they don't like. It's just, and as I always say, most people my age are retired or should be. And I've probably been retired for the last, 15, 20 years, technically, because when you're doing something you love, it's not looked at as well. I need a shave right now, but when you're grinding and sharing something as powerful as this, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to hit you with the kitchen sink or overcook your grits too much, but listen, get back with the person that shared this video with you and get some nodes. I didn't say start building no team. I didn't say any of that. If it's myself, just inbox me or what have you. My info, if it's you're watching on YouTube, is there. But reach out so we can walk you through. Very simple process. And now do remember that the 3-for-1, meaning you purchase one node, and that was in the video, but for sake of time, I don't want to go through all that. As I said, you could, get with me and we can give you the info for a live presentation. When you even watch this video, there'll be one going on probably that evening. Okay. So when you acquire one node, they're giving you 3 more free. And he was about to do that math, right? 27,000 times 4 for the price of one node. Right. And that ends, my point is that ends at 48 hours from the time I'm finished doing this video, right? It's actually a little more than that because it's 11:59 Hawaii time, which to be specific is about 5:59 a.m. Wednesday morning, okay? Wednesday morning. So it'll be the 30th, but it'll be Wednesday, 6 a.m. here. So you get a little more time because I believe we're 6 hours ahead. But in any event, it doesn't matter because the opportunity for you to acquire a node will still be there. Numbers are numbers. I want you to understand that. Numbers are numbers. Now, do you want to take advantage of this promo? Heck yeah, you do. get four for the price of one. It's like you're paying $300 per node, right? However, I want you to understand is you want to position yourself and acquire these nodes either way, because the majority of you will be seeing this after the 30th of September 2025. So, with that being said, listen, here's to your future and mine. Be sure to get back with whomever shared this information with you. God bless.